Today's video is going to be a walkthrough or a demo of the Customer Files feature. There already was a Customer Files feature, but it was only available for QuickBooks Desktop users, and it had a fairly limited functionality. So this is going to be expanding on all that. So let's walk through it real quick. If we go to Settings, and you're going to go, this is where you're going to create your configuration. So go to Customer Files. You'll see that there are several options here. The default option will always be using the GoToMyAccounts S3, Amazon S3 bucket, and then each portal account has their own private folder inside there. So by default, you can just use that, and it's no problem. You can also connect your Dropbox account now, and then the Google Drive will be coming here very shortly. So what's the pros and cons for doing your own cloud storage? Well, of course, if you have your files located in Dropbox, you can actually manage files directly within Dropbox. So you can, or right within your Windows client, you could go in there to a customer folder and just put a file there, and it will be available inside that customer's portal. So that's kind of cool. So in order to use a third-party cloud storage, you'll need to have an account with them, and you'll need to connect to it. But so why don't we do that real quick as a first step? Is kind of and then I'll go back to the functionality itself, because regardless of which one of these you select, the underlying functionality is basically the same. So let's go ahead and create or connect to Dropbox. So I'm on the Dropbox integration page. Let's connect the account. And if you're already logged in, it will just present you with the asking you if it's okay. So we'll say allow. And then we should land right back on that same page that's saying we are now connected. Now, the one thing it's important to remember is that we haven't switched from Amazon yet. All we did was authorize or kind of connect to Dropbox so that it's available. So if I go back to my customer file settings here, you'll see it's now connected, but I'm still set to Amazon. So I want to change that to Dropbox. And now you'll see that this field becomes active because you get to choose what you want to call the folder, the root folder of where your customer files will be stored. So this folder will be in the root of your Dropbox. And so the default is just GTMA customers, but you can call it whatever you want. But once you set it, you should really stick with that. Otherwise, you're going to be copying all your files over to another folder. If you change this folder later on, it doesn't rename it on Dropbox. Okay, we don't do that. So, if you rename it, it will just create another folder, and then there won't be any files in it until you start adding them again, or if you copy all the other files into the new folder. I hope that makes sense. So it's really kind of best to choose a folder and kind of stick with it on there. I'm going to allow customers to upload disabled for the time being, just to so that you can see the difference. So let's save our new settings. Alright, so now we are connected to Dropbox. So now if we go to a customer here, let's go to Amy's Bird Sanctuary. It's my favorite one to test with. And I click on Files. So I'm in the Customer Files Management page here. And you'll see, and that sound you just heard was, it just created the folder for Amy's Sanctuary inside of my Dropbox folder. So let's see here. So it's showing here the current storage platform is Dropbox. And I don't have any files yet in there, and my storage path is GTMA customers. So let me show you that. I have my folder open here. Let's drag this in. This is my Dropbox folder, and you'll see it already created this Amy's Bird Sanctuary. There's nothing in it yet. So let's just move that over here for a second. So let's go ahead and add our first file. Let's put in a screenshot here. And now you'll see a couple of things. I want to go over these really quick. The document date will default to today's date, the date that you're uploading. So what is that useful for? Well, if it's, for example, if it's a PDF or something and it's a contract and the document has a specific date on it, you might want to capture that and have the document date set. So once you set this, it will be hard set. And then the other things that change within the metadata would just be like when was it last updated or when was it created. All right, so then we have the visible to customer. If we roll over this help icon, you'll see that it's allows you to decide whether the customer should be able to see this file or not. And then this one, show on dashboard, it's kind of similar, except if you show on dashboard, it will show on the front page, like the first page they get to when they go on their log into their portal. So that's kind of useful if it's a really important file, or maybe a file that they need to see often, or something that you just want to bring to their attention. So for this first demo, let's leave that off on the dashboard. I'll just type a note here, so we're putting some kind of note, and then let's click upload. And after that is uploaded, I'm also going to drag in, so there it is. And so you'll see here the document date was the 29th. Let's actually change that. No, we'll do that on the next one. 29th, and then the last modified, and then it shows how long ago, a few seconds. And it's not shown on the dashboard, but is visible to the customer. Now let me drag over my folder. Let's open this, and there's the screenshot. So it went up. All right, let's put that back. Let's do something real good time to do this. What if I delete it? What if I delete it from my Dropbox? So let's do it. I just removed it. And if I click refresh, it should be gone in here as well. It is. Now let's just put it back. Now I think the metadata should still be there. Like we keep it in case the file does get uploaded again. So let's put it back. I'll just put the same note in there though. Now let's put that there. A note. And I don't know, let's just change the doc date to the 28th. Okay, just added it back again. So if I go over here, there it is. Okay, great. So there it is. We got one file in there and not showing on the dashboard, visible to customer. Let's add one more. Let's make this one, let's use this Word document. This one we will show on the dashboard, and I'll say, look at this. And let's set the document date to, I don't know, the 20th. Let's load it up there. And so document date, the 20th of April, uploaded a couple seconds ago by me, and I'm saying, look at this. I'm showing on the dashboard, it's visible to the customer. So let's log in as Amy's Bird Sanctuary and see what this will look like to that customer. So here we are. If we scroll down, we should see there's our one file that we marked for being displayed on the dashboard. So it'll always be shown below, just below the recent transactions list right here. And then you'll see any files that you marked to be included on the dashboard will show here. Now, if it's just showing on the dashboard, you can download it or create the link or show the link here. Not much else you can do with it. So if I go to the actual files page, I should see all the files for this customer. So there's both of them are there. Now, since first of all, I don't have customer upload available. So if I click here, it doesn't do anything at all. All I can do as a customer is I can see the information about the file, and I can download it. I can show a link. In case you're wondering why do you have a show link and a download, well, sometimes you want to just do a file save as, and sometimes you just want to download it. So that's just there as an option where you can right click and open in a new tab, something like that. So it just gives you a little more flexibility. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell for when you don't have any other options enabled. But let's go back to my original session, and now let's do a couple different things. First of all, let's go back to the settings, and now let's enable customer uploads. Saved it, and let's go back to Amy's. We'll click on Files. Okay, there we go. So I'm not going to change anything here really. I'll leave the settings alone, but let's log in as the customer and see now what we can do. Okay, so there is our one file. Now on the dashboard, you can only do one thing, which is download or show link. But again, if I go to more, or I say, go to the full list here, click more, and now you'll see the button for upload file is available. And if I click on an item, now see this one I don't have access to. As a customer, you can only modify a file that you uploaded. So if you upload a file and you want to go back in and change the notes or something like that, you can do that, and I'll show you that in a minute. So if I click these, again, I'm not allowed to do anything on those, but I can still download. But let's upload a file. Upload. Now there's a little bit less, there are a few less options. Of course, the customer can't control whether it's visible or not, and they certainly also can't control whether the file shows up on their dashboard. So we'll choose this new file I copied in here, this postmaster file. They can still change the document date. We'll leave it as the default, and on the notes I'll just put here, a file to review. And so depending on the kind of business you have, you may or may not need this feature to allow your customer to upload a file. So let's go ahead and upload that one. And now with that one uploaded, we should be able to edit this one, because you'll see the uploader is Amy Lauterbach. That's the name of this client. So if I click on this, I can edit. There's also a I didn't show that to you before. You can right click on these, and you'll see these are only allowing download. This one I can click edit, and I can use the button alternatively as well. So let's just change a file to review, and I'll just write thanks. And that updated the note. A couple other things, like you'll see it shows the file size. Last time it was modified just a few seconds ago, and then these other ones I just did 5 or 6 minutes ago. So now let's go back to my original session, my staff session, and if I go to files, I should see the new file that she uploaded, theoretically, which is right there. So I can also go in here and edit. I can also control things. I can even control whether or not that customer can view it. One thing to note is customers can't delete any files. So if they upload a file, it's there. They can overwrite it. They can put another one up there, but they cannot delete a file once they have uploaded it. Okay, so that's, if I wanted, like I said, if I want to nail this down a little bit more, I can restrict visibility. I can put more notes on it. But that's basically it. Now, if, for whatever reason, I want to just get rid of all these, I can just delete them. And actually, I'm going to drag this window here. So that removed one of the files. Let's try and show you how this works in real time. Delete. I just did another one. You'll see it just disappeared from Dropbox. Delete. And that should be the last one. Gone. So, and this is right here locally on my Windows box, and it's pretty cool. I want to do one other thing though. I'd like to upload a file by just copying a file into this folder to just kind of show you how that works. Okay, so I copied a file, and I'm going to paste it in here. And I'll wait for this to go green, because that means that it's there. Okay, so that is now uploaded into Amy's Bird Sanctuary. Let's move that over. And now if I refresh, the file should be there. There it is. So, and then you'll see uploader NA. It's not applicable because, it wasn't uploaded through the portal, so we don't really know who did it. I don't know, it might add some functionality later where you can, take ownership of the file, but, maybe it's not really that important. But if I go in here now and I want to edit, let's say I want to set that date back to the 28th, and let's make it visible and put my note again here, save it, and there we go. Now we have metadata alongside the file. Let's drag this over again. If I right click and I delete, and now it's gone out of Dropbox again. So it's pretty cool. You can put files into a customer folder, and you can do it through the portal, or you can just copy it in there. Again, the default behavior when you just drag or copy a file into a folder is it will be visible to the customer. That's the default behavior. So if, for example, I was to do that again, copy that file in there again like that, and then I realize, like, hey, I don't really want them to see that, or maybe I don't want them to see it yet. I want to put some notes on it first. So I'll go in here, click refresh, and I'll restrict it, hide from customer. So it's there, it's in there, and but it's just hidden right now. And now I can wait. Maybe I need to, like I said, I want to add some notes, or I just don't want to show it to them yet. Okay, so let's just remove that again. And like the warning says there, when you delete, it is permanent. I mean, it's gone. There's no, it's not like it goes in the trash. Although I think Dropbox might have a way to recover when you delete. So let's just do one last thing within this demo, and let's disconnect the Dropbox account. And I would say, be cautious, be careful when you do that, because when you do that, you're essentially, when customers log in, they will not be able to see any of their files anymore. So now that I removed the Dropbox connection, it's gone, and it automatically switched me back to Amazon S3. And there's nothing in the root here because it's defaults to the root. So I don't have to save this or anything like that. But if I go into customers again, and I go to that test account, let's go to files. The only difference now is it will say now Amazon S3 GoToMyAccounts. This is the default that you'll see right now. If you don't connect your Dropbox account, that's what you're going to see. But functionally, it's exactly the same. The only thing that's different, let me go back here, let's see. The only thing that is different, the only difference is you can't select what to call your root folder because it's static. It's the root of your private folder in the storage bucket, and of course you can't manually upload files, like copy files in there the way I was doing with Dropbox. So you'll have to do everything from this interface here inside the portal. But let's just do the same tasks again, just to show it works exactly the same. It doesn't really care what storage platform you're using. The interface is the same. So there's the file. Okay. The one thing that is different, and I'm hoping to get this working on Dropbox, is it does show a thumbnail image. That's something that we actually create when the file goes up, so we can kind of control that a little bit easier. And it only does it for, I think, JPEG, PNG files, and GIF. Basically, any image file will create a thumbnail for it to show here, which is kind of good. So let's do the same thing. Let's add the document, this one, and we'll make that shown on the dashboard. Same thing, look at this file, and we'll backdate it to some other date. There we go. Okay, so let's go to profile and log in as Amy's. And as far as Amy's bird sanctuary is concerned, nothing changed. They would never know whether you were on Dropbox or using Amazon, except for if you look at the link here, which you guys can't see probably, it's off the screen, you'll see that one is linking to an Amazon AWS bucket, and then when you go on Dropbox, it's linking to their service. So that's the same. Let's go to files. I have the same ability. I can upload files still. I can do all the same things here. If I again try to edit, I can't do that, but I can upload. So I'll put my own file in, the same one again. Let's say a note. Upload that one. File's a little bit bigger, so it takes a couple seconds. There we go. Alright, so now you see I can edit this one. There. Show link. You'll notice that show link is a lot faster with Amazon, and that's because when we generate the temporary link, we don't have to hit Amazon servers to get that. It's done through their API, like kind of like an algorithm. So you send the pre-signed key to their service. That's a little bit nicer that it's fast like that. Okay, that's it. All right, you know what? I think we're done. Let's go back to this one. I'll just delete these again. But that is basically how Customer Files works. Okay, so I'll just leave it that way for now. The documentation for this is under Features, and it's pretty thorough. I put quite a bit of information inside there, so if you want to take a look at that, you'll see I've got quite a bit of detail in there, some FAQs, what happens if I do this, and where are the files located, what will a customer see. So if you want to read up on that, that's also available to you if you like. So that's it for now. Until the next video, thanks for watching.